Hi, this is Christian and welcome to NFL Updates Express, your weekly dose of NFL news. Coming your way, Week 1 predictions. The NFL season kicks off when the Carolina Panthers take on the Denver Broncos in a Super Bowl rematch. Now, both teams are trying to forget Super Bowl 50. The Broncos, it was a positive experience as Von Miller dominated the Panthers' offensive line, but they still don't want to become complacent knowing that they did win the Super Bowl last year, but I know they want more, and with the veteran experience of Von Miller and their dynamic receivers like Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, they should be able to right the ship, even with a new young quarterback, Trevor Siemian, who hasn't taken a snap in the regular season in the NFL. For the Panthers, they had a tough experience in the Super Bowl, losing 24-10 in the Super Bowl in a turnover-filled game in which Cam Newton and the offense just couldn't really get much going. And the Panthers would have loved nothing more than to win this game, getting revenge on the Broncos after their humiliating defeat in the Super Bowl, where many people thought the Panthers would be the ones victorious. I think the Panthers have a chance to win this game, even on the road, being the NFC champs, and they have Kelvin Benjamin back in the fold, but I don't know. I mean, Trevor Siemian, he isn't really the best quarterback out there, but I think he fits the system of the Denver Broncos. And the Panthers, it could go either way. They could crush the Broncos, or it could be similar to Super Bowl 50. I think it will actually be a little bit in between, but ultimately I think the Denver Broncos will win this game. The second spotlight game of the week is when the New England Patriots travel to Glendale, Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Now in this matchup, we know Tom Brady suspended due to the Deflategate controversy and his potential role in that, as the league found him guilty of being tampered with the balls. And now it will be up to Jimmy Garoppolo for the Patriots to try to steal a win against a very talented Arizona team that includes Larry Fitzgerald, Carson Palmer, and three dynamic receivers, Larry Fitz, of course, and John Brown, and Michael Floyd. It will be an interesting game. I think the Patriots are going to put up a pretty good fight because a lot of people are counting them out. And the Patriots do have a pretty solid defense, underrated by many people. But their offense might struggle to put up points against the mighty Cardinals defense. And even though the Patriots will keep it close, I think the Cardinals ultimately get the job done. The next spotlight game of the week is a Monday Night Football matchup when the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Washington Redskins. Now the Steelers, well, a lot of people are predicting them to make it to the Super Bowl this year, and I think the Steelers can be a very, very good team. They have Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger, and Le'Veon Bell, who is suspended for 3 games, but they do have D'Angelo Williams, a quality back that he can be just as effective as Le'Veon, so I don't think that should be a big drop-off for the Steelers while Le'Veon is out. They do have Martavis Bryant on a suspension for the entire year as well, so that may lose them a couple more games this season, but we'll just have to wait and see. The Steelers could be 13-3, or they could be 9-7, we just don't know. For the Redskins, well, they had a mixed bag last season, but they were able to win the weak NFC East division, and I really think Kirk Cousins is going to have a breakout year. He did in the second half of the 2015 season, but I really think with all the weapons he has now, Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, and rookie Josh Doctson, I think the Redskins could be a great team. And on the defense, they have Josh Norman, who they acquired from Carolina after they rescinded his franchise tag. So I really think the Redskins will have a good team this year. But overall for this game, I think the Steelers will keep it close throughout the whole game, but ultimately I see the Redskins getting the upset on Monday Night Football. The last spotlight game of the week is when the Green Bay Packers travel to Everbank Field to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now for the Jags, well, this isn't the old Jags of 3 to 5 years ago when you could just pencil them in for only 3 or 4 wins. The Jags have talents on both sides of the ball. With their 3 pretty solid linebackers, they have Dante Fowler Jr., Miles Jack, and Paul Posluszny. And even though 2 of the 3 are unproven young players, but they look to be the real deal. So it'll be interesting to see how Jacksonville's run defense faces off against Eddie Lacy, James Starks, and the Green Bay rushing attack. And of course with Green Bay, you have Jordy Nelson full go, ready to go for Aaron Rodgers. And that should be a big boost for the Packers who try to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I think the Jags will be an upstart team and will push for the playoffs, but ultimately, when this game is all said and done, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers to win the game. The player of the week is Denver Broncos starting quarterback Trevor Siemian. Now, even though he's no Peyton Manning, Trevor Siemian can still lead the offense to the Broncos to a good record this season if he doesn't have a lot of turnovers this season and believes in the system that the Broncos have in place to make him successful. There were some notable roster cuts in the NFL after the teams trimmed their rosters of 53, including the Broncos releasing Mark Sanchez when he quickly got a job with the Dallas Cowboys as their backup quarterback. And don't forget about Moritz Boehringer, the German receiver. He got released by the Vikings, but he's also put on the practice squad, as well as the Packers starting left guard Josh Sitton, who signed with the Chicago Bears. Also, Teddy Bridgewater, we already know about his ACL injury, but that paved the way for a big trade between the Philadelphia Eagles, who received a first-round pick and a few other picks from the Minnesota Vikings to acquire Sam Bradford to be their starting quarterback.